The first couple weeks of this NFL season have been absolutely crazy, and with this craziness has come many quarterback changes. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 8 new quarterbacks and which one will impact their team the most. Let's get right into it. The first quarterback we are going to talk about is Gardner Minshew, and if you haven't heard about him, he's been on social media recently for some weird pre-game routines, but I'm not going to get into that. But the reason we are starting off with him is because he has already played in his first game at the time that I'm recording this video. He started in Thursday Night Football against the Tennessee Titans, and he was able to lead the Jacksonville Jaguars over the Titans for their first win of the season. In this game, he passed for over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, while completing 20 of 30 passes, and he threw 0 interceptions. So, a very impressive performance for the new quarterback, and I think that if this play continues, he could definitely be the longtime starter for the Jaguars in the future. Next up, we have the Jets quarterback Luke Falk. And he is another player who has also already played this season, but he did not start the game. If you follow football, you know that the Jets lost Sam Darnold because he had mono, and reports said he could be out up to 6 weeks. So that is a big loss for them. So last week they had Trevor Siemian starting, and well, he did something crazy to his ankle, and now he's out for the rest of the season. So now they are down to Luke Falk. And I think I heard that their next guy up after that is Le'Veon Bell. So if Luke Falk gets hurt, then Le'Veon Bell will be taking over at quarterback for the Jets. Probably not, but in his first performance coming into the game after Trevor Siemian got hurt, he didn't play too bad. He threw for over 100 yards, about 127 yards, I believe. Don't quote me on that. He also threw a touchdown. He also threw a pick, but overall, for a third-string quarterback coming into the game after this backup quarterback gets injured, he definitely didn't perform too poorly. Next up, we have the Giants' Daniel Jones. And when the Giants drafted Daniel Jones, it wasn't a matter of if, it was just a matter of when he would take the reins from Eli Manning. And after a pretty bad 0-2 start, the Giants have announced that Daniel Jones will be starting week 3, and honestly, I'm kind of excited. Daniel Jones got a lot of criticism, or I guess he didn't get a lot of criticism, but the Giants organization got a lot of criticism for taking him so highly in the draft above Dwayne Haskins. A lot of people thought that Daniel Jones was a late first-round pick. If he was even a first-round pick, a lot of people thought he should have been in the second round, but he did play very well in preseason, and with this young Giants team with Saquon Barkley and other nice playmakers that they have on offense, I think that Daniel Jones starting could be a very good thing for the Giants. Next up, we have Teddy Bridgewater, who is filling in for Drew Brees, who is out for pretty much the rest of the season. I think it's like around 9 weeks where he could come back, but that's like week 12, week 13. So it's pretty much until the end of the season that the Saints will be without Drew Brees. But I think that out of all the teams on this list, Teddy Bridgewater is definitely the best backup. The Saints are definitely in the best situation. Teddy Bridgewater, before he got injured, was a starter for the Vikings, and he didn't do a bad job. The Vikings weren't a great team, but they weren't a bad team, and Teddy Bridgewater was a starter, like I said, so I don't think that the Saints are completely doomed. Another reason I think that the Saints situation is different from the rest of the teams on this list is that they have 2 backup quarterbacks, and the second guy is Taysom Hill. Now, if you follow Saints football, you know that Taysom Hill is the do-it-all guy on offense. He plays quarterback, he plays receiver. I think he might even have taken a few snaps at running back. He just kind of does everything on the offensive end, and he actually, even though Teddy Bridgewater is kind of their backup quarterback, I guess you could say, Taysom Hill has gotten more snaps this season so far, and even though he wasn't playing quarterback, he has gotten snaps at receiver, and I think he has gotten a few snaps out of the Wildcat in as a quarterback. But it'll be interesting to see how the Saints managed 2 new quarterbacks with the absence of Drew Brees. And if I am remembering right, I don't think the Saints have named an official new starter yet. So look for the Saints to split snaps between Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill. Next up, we have the Steelers, and their new quarterback after Big Ben's season-ending injury will be Mason Rudolph. Now, the Steelers, a team that had high hopes coming into the season, looking to move on from Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, were very disappointed after their first 2 games. 2 big L's in their first 2 games, and after Big Ben's injury, their season kind of looks like it's over before it's even really started. But I believe that Big Ben's time in the league is dwindling down, and I don't know if Mason Rudolph is the future quarterback of the Steelers, but with Big Ben out for the season, I think it is definitely an opportunity for him to prove himself, and with other young guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, James Conner, I think that he has a big opportunity to prove himself, like I said. The next quarterback we have on this list is Josh Rosen, who is taking over for Ryan Fitzpatrick on the Miami Dolphins, who, if you haven't watched the NFL, are the absolute worst team in the entire league. Most people don't even consider them a legit NFL team, which is very sad to see, but Josh Rosen is a very interesting player in my opinion. A lot of people were calling him a bust in his rookie season, in his first season as an NFL quarterback, before he even really had an opportunity to get the hang of it. And after the Cardinals drafted Kyler Murray and traded Josh Rosen to the Dolphins, I think he has a big chance to prove all the doubters wrong. In my opinion, people are jumping to conclusions about him way too soon. It's only his 2nd year as a quarterback, and I think that if he can even win 1 game with this Miami Dolphins team, okay, maybe not win 1 game, but if he can show that he can produce and he can be a good quarterback who can control the offense, I think this is a big opportunity for him. The final quarterback that we have on this list is Kyle Allen, and I think that out of all the quarterbacks, he could be the guy who plays the least. This might be a 1-week thing, but I don't think that the Panthers are completely screwed because he is not a bad quarterback. He's a former teammate of Kyler Murray. He played over Kyler Murray, and I don't think that he will do anything special for the Panthers, but I think that he is a good fill-in for Cam Newton. Like I said, I don't imagine he'll play that long, and I'm sure as soon as Cam Newton is ready to go, he will be put back into the offense, but Kyle Allen is definitely not bad, and I think he won't be that much of a drop-off from Cam Newton. Okay, now that we've talked about all the new quarterbacks that will be starting this week, let's talk about who I think will do the best. In my opinion, Daniel Jones will have the most long-term success, and that may come as a surprise to some people. A lot of people, like I said when I was talking about Daniel Jones, don't think he deserved to be picked as high as he was, but in my opinion, he was picked that high for a reason. He showed out in preseason, and I think he has a lot of young weapons like Saquon Barkley, like Sterling Shepard, like the other receivers, Evan Ingram at tight end. I think that the Giants' offense isn't that bad. They just need to kind of find out where they're going, and I think in the long term, he will have the most success. Now, as a team, in terms of team success, I think that the Saints won't drop off as bad as some of these other teams will with losing their starting quarterbacks. Like I said when I was talking about Teddy Bridgewater, he has started in this league before. He is probably the best backup out of all of these guys. And they also have Taysom Hill, who has already been getting snaps. So they have guys with NFL experience, with starting experience. And so for team success, I think that the Saints will do the best. I also think that Gardner Minshew will probably do very good. I hope he does, because he's a pretty cool dude. But that is it for me. Leave your thoughts on who will do the best, which quarterback will do the best, which team will do the best. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.